We want to talk squatches tonight. Let's get light tonight. Oh, yeah. So, I got my coffee and my favorite mug. Yeah, so before let me see here. Yeah, that looks all right. So before I get into the squatches and all that kind of stuff, I thought I might talk about some pet peeves. Oh, I forgot to get the tablet. Oh, I won't be able to see the chat. Let me see. Hi, Renee. I see Renee. Let me look for a second. It's just, I should have got my tablet, but I didn't. So I want to talk about something that really bothers me about YouTube people. Oh, I seen it. Hey, Adolf, what's up, man? And I don't know who else. Jules. Hi, Julie. So I want to address something like that bothers me. Now, back in the day, before everyone used their cell phones for creating content on YouTube, everyone looked at you and they talked to you, right? They looked right at you, right? Now, everyone's like this. Yeah, and they get animated and they are talking and they're addressing us and they're talking to us, and some are saying really important things, and every once in a while they glance over there, but then they're back to looking at what? Their self. They look at their self. Hey, don't I look great? Oh man. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I just had to say that, you guys. It's been driving me nuts. Like, if somebody's talking to you, it'd be nice if they would look you in the eye when they say it, right? Especially if they're going to do like 30 minutes. And that's another thing. That's another thing that bothers me. Who said that you have to keep your video short? And then they always say, because I know everyone out there has a short attention span. Really? I've done a 5-hour live with BZ and my buddy. I don't know. I'll say my buddy Chef. I don't know if I should say his name, but I'll say his name. A 5-hour, when I even went to Walmart. After 2 hours, I went to Walmart, shopped with my wife, came back. I left everything on because I was doing the broadcast. And when I came back, everybody was still going. I loved it, right? And I watch videos all the time, movies, TV shows. They're longer than 12 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So where's this rule? Who made that rule? And sometimes some of these people are talking about really nice, good stuff, and I want to hear more. And then they cut it short, like, well, and some of them just cut it. They don't even say goodbye or, how you doing? They don't do it, I know. I'll quit. Okay, so tonight I thought I would keep it light, and I wish I would have remembered my tablet. Gee, I don't know if I Hi, Lisa. Hi, Dave. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so I can see it for a second, I guess. I put my finger on there. Okay, so tonight, let's talk about squatches. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, and the new one, Sabe. And I think that's kind of funny, like, I should talk about that a little bit too, since we're on pet peeves a little bit. I listen to, I'll admit it, I listen to How to Hunt. And I listen to the stories. And the stories, a lot of them may be fake and a lot of them are real. And it's up to us and I like his saying, take what you will or leave it. Take what you will or leave it, which is good. But then, he bags on, and I understand why he bags on the TV personalities and stuff, but not all the TV personalities are bad. In fact, even if they're bad, they did something that was good. And without them, there would be no how to hunt. There wouldn't be a Squatch Zone. There wouldn't be a big giant audience of people wanting to know what's going on in the Bigfoot world. Because if it wasn't for those TV shows, it would still be a big joke, and you didn't, and nobody would want to say what happened or if anything happened to them. So, I get it that they're bad people, and at one point, when I first came out with my Bigfoot sighting, and I shared it with BFRO, and I'm not gonna say BFR and not say the whole thing. I mean, I'm saying how to hunt. I don't have a problem with talking about people's channels. Like, he won't promote anybody's channel, blah blah blah. Whatever, dude. Get real, okay? You'll share every freaking Bigfoot email, but you won't share any website or whatever, okay? Let's grow up a little bit. And he's probably going to get mad if somebody's going to go snitch on me, whatever, okay? Whatever. But these people, he says, I guess, is reading a email, and somebody says Sabe, and now everybody's saying Sabe, just like everybody's saying Squatches or whatever. It's like it's really growing. This whole information thing about Bigfoot's growing like crazy. And I still have all my hair. You guys notice I'm getting some grays, but I don't dye my hair. I'm about to turn 65, and this is all the grays I got. What you see is what you get. Isn't that amazing? Look, I'm looking at myself. Ooh, no grays. So when I shared my Bigfoot story with BFRO, and it wasn't until the internet came on, right? So I seen it in '87, and then the internet came on, and then it was even a while before I realized there was a BFRO site. But once I found that, I posted my Bigfoot encounter, and I had a couple of more since then as well. Only I saw what I thought was a man. Okay? I saw what I thought was a man. And for an hour, I thought it was a man. Until the sun came up, and it got brighter, and he got closer, and I started realizing I'm not looking at a man dressed in black with no gun, no hat, no light. Like, what is he doing out there during deer season, bear season? So I think the BFRO thing kind of, they don't like when you say it's a man. But I saw a man. I won't color it. Hey, right on, man. I could see it for a minute. It's actually staying right there. I'm afraid to mess with it. Let me see. Hi, Darlene. See, I like watching long stuff too, Julie. I do too. And I like longer content, and I don't think anybody should set their watch. I think if they have a bazillion followers, it wasn't because they kept their video short. I guarantee you that. It's because there's a lot of people that are interested in what they talk about. I mean, simple. So I think that I think the BFRO and those guys, the scientists and everything, they want to keep this thing being an ape. I never thought it was an ape. It ran like a man, it walked like a man, it looked like a man. The first one I saw wasn't hunched over. In fact, I've seen it about 6 times now, and none of the ones I've seen were hunched over. There were more longer hair, different color. Like the last one I seen was, I was with, I don't know if I should say it, Baron von Strauss. I shouldn't say his name, so I won't. So I was with Baron von Strauss in the middle of the night, and we were way back behind Kings River, and we were shooting an air gun, a 357 caliber air gun. I was impressed, but it was a single shot and it actually jammed. It wouldn't unjam. And while he was fiddling with it, trying to unjam it, there was only one light out there at this campground, and it was next to those outdoor bathrooms, the pit type toilet bathrooms that you see them at parks and stuff like that. Well, I seen a blur of movement going from the darkness to the right of me, and it was what I saw was like when you watch The Flash, the movie The Flash, or you see the cartoon The Flash, and he has that streak behind him when he runs. All I saw was the movement, and I saw that streak. And it went from the shadows to behind that bathroom. And that made me really start looking over that way, because I didn't know what it was. I didn't think it was what it turned out to be. It actually turned out to be a Bigfoot, because I would say a couple of minutes later, not long, it stood up behind the bathroom, and it was lit up by the light. The light was just to its right, my left, and it was in front of that bathroom, so it lit his whole front up, kind of like how I am right here, right? All lit up. And he was like a chocolate brown, and he had silver tips on his hair, and it was longer hair. I couldn't see the definition like I could in the very first one and a couple of the ones I seen after that, because it had so much fur, but I could tell it was huge still. You could see the muscles under there, his chest. And something that always gets me is this part right here, the ball of the shoulder is like bigger than a basketball on these things. I mean, it's huge, huge. So I never, that streak, they do things that are, they have capabilities that are beyond our capabilities. And I think that the scientists want to keep it being I saw that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I get, they're all about the money, really, and notoriety and all that stuff, Totally not what I'm about. I'm just about being me and talking about things I like. But so that's where they're going with this. Now, getting back to all these emails that are getting read and stories coming out, I mean, there's all kinds of places that are reading people's stories now, not just how to hunt. There's a bunch of them. I don't recall their name of the YouTube channels, otherwise I would say them. But I listen to them while I'm out here pounding on the leather. And one thing that is gratifying to me, and it should be to Jeff and the whole team that we have, is they're starting to talk about things that we found out on our own. Like How to Hunt makes fun of people that go out looking for Bigfoot and pounding on trees or whatever, because that's what BFRO does. Okay, that's why he makes fun of it. Or, and other people. But only, like, I'm not out there like it's a game, and I'm not a researcher, I'm not a scientist, but I am somebody that wants to know. Like, once you see this thing, and it changes your life. I mean, it's like a religious moment. I mean, forever you don't go in the woods like before. You don't. I mean, your whole world is changed. Yeah, my nose is gonna run now because it's cold out here. But so your whole world changes. So for me, it was all about researching. I'm not a researcher, but I do research, okay? Like, I research the internet, I read everything I can, I watch every video, I'm looking for sources all the time on Bigfoot. And it's kind of gratifying to hear these stories come out. And this is how I could tell if it's a real story or a fake story, by the way. When they start talking about some of the superpowers that this thing has, it like one of them was I've interviewed lots of people. Even before I met Jeff, anybody that said they saw a Bigfoot, I wanted to talk to them, and I didn't care who laughed at me. Okay, I I I would tell anybody my Bigfoot story, and I got made fun of like crazy. But I always tell them, you're going to be camping one day, and you're going to run into something in the woods, and it's going to change your life, and you're going to remember what I said at that moment. They will remember. Like, I keep seeing this flash, so it's kind of like having a religious, like finding God. I mean, it's that much of a difference in your life. It does do that. Donald Marshall fell off the earth. He got mad at me and he unfriended me there for a little bit, and it was only because I was defending some of the people, and I get it. See, you get tired of saying the same thing over and over and over, and then you get new followers or new people, and they ask the same questions that you've been answering for 10 years, right? The same questions, and all they really have to do is go read up or listen to a few videos, and they'll know the answer. It's kind of like, if you watch my videos. Yeah, well, okay, so I was he had a buzz, and he was some people were asking dumb questions, and then he just started slamming them. And I just told him to ease up, hey man, ease up. And that was he unfriended me. Didn't block me, but he unfriended me. And I was his friend for a long time. In fact, a lot of people didn't even know who he was. And I was his friend and following him and all that stuff. And I actually have the videos on that Jeff and I did on the YouTube channel. You can watch them about the cloning and all that. And there's something to that. Okay, there's something to that. Believe me. Like our what do you call him? What Brandon? Our POS Brandon, the one that flies around in Air Force One. That's not him, but it could be a clone. Hey, 1B Tech. And James Henry, no, I'm not a clone. I wish I had a few though. I wish I had a couple. It would be nice. It really would. Like when I'm in trouble with the wife, I would send a clone in before I go in, right? And then call him out, and say, hey, okay, you can come out now. And then I would go in. Things like that. I would love a clone for that. When you have to work on the car, I'll send the clone out there in a heartbeat. Like if I wanted to yell at a neighbor or something like that, I send the clone over there and get it done. Yeah. But back to what I was talking about. Got carried away there. I love this topic. Okay, so now everybody's coming out with their stories and all different ways, on the internet. The internet made it really cool, and it's really picking up steam. And I think it has a lot to do with the times we're living in. Like, no, wait a minute, I'm going back to that thing where people look at each other. Looking at the times we're living in, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Sorry about that. I digress. Yeah. That's another one. I digress. How many times do you hear that? I digress. I digress. I digress. Yeah. Well, I digress. Let me get back. So, all these people coming out with their stories, and I'll get to the point here right now. a long time ago, I would say a decade ago, we figured out they can see the IR. We figured out they could see the infrared light because we were trying to catch them with infrared cameras. And we used security cameras, really expensive security cameras, and a security cameras IR spotlight, like a white spotlight, like million candle power or something like that. But we had a real, like a 300-foot IR spotlight, and we had a camera that could see 100 feet really good, and especially all the IR cameras could see really good when you use the spotlight. Well, we figured out how to bait them in. I mean, we never went out looking for them like fools, going out there and wandering around. I mean, if you're going to get eat by a Bigfoot, leave camp and go out there wandering around by yourself in the woods, okay? You're just asking for it. And it might not even be a Bigfoot to get you. It could be a dog man, it could be an alien, it could be a bear, a mountain lion, whatever, right? You don't go wandering around in the dark by yourself, okay? That's stupid. I don't even go wandering around in the day by myself after what I saw. That's one of the things that changed my life. Was I used to wander around out there for days. I'll go camping for 14 days by myself and wander around. Not anymore, okay? So we would have all this camera trap set up, and we would be calling them in by beating on trees and whooping, and they come in. They would come in. We would wait for them to get like in really good range, I would say 25 yards, 30 yards of the cameras. And you can hear them. I mean, they're breaking sticks and they're doing things to let you know they're there. Otherwise, you wouldn't know they're there, right? They're doing things so you know, and you can tell how far they are and everything. It was like, okay, turn the camera on. It was like an instant. As soon as the switch came on and everything came on, it takes like, I don't know, a half a second for everything to power up and come on and the camera to start recording. They would then be outside of the infrared and making noise and calling and kind of laughing at us out there, having a great time. We never could get them on an infrared, ever. So we tried game cameras, tried everything. We got lucky a couple times with the game cameras, but mostly we had no fun with game cameras. And we started off with one game camera and didn't catch anything. Jeff caught one by accident with a game camera once, right before I entered the picture, around 2010, somewhere in there. But it was all luck. They didn't know about the camera, that they were far enough away from the camera where it wasn't a good picture, They knew the camera was there, but they were far enough away where they didn't think they could be caught by the camera. So we figured out they were infrared. We figured out all kinds of things over the years. We got the DNA. We had it tested independently from anyone, and we found out they were mostly, the mom's side was female, and the dad's side was not in any database. And the percentages of that human and not human. And I mean, we already did that, and as far as I know, Jeff still has DNA stashed in a location. Yeah, I think they're way smarter than anything. Hey Leonard, how are you, bro? So for me, all these stories and emails and all this deluge of Bigfoot sighting information that people are sharing, and some people have, for years, like me, for years, some people all the way back to their childhood, and I think I'm one of those all the way back to my childhood thing. I mean, I grew up in the mountains with, my parents are outdoor enthusiasts, hunting, fishing, camping. We spent the majority of our time in the woods. I mean, I was taught to track and all kinds of stuff as a kid. Oh boy. Yeah, lots of traffic. I didn't realize when I set the camera up that you'll be able to see all the cars behind me. Crazy, huh? I live in a crazy place. Crazy. So, so I'm enjoying this onslaught of Bigfoot stuff, and a lot of it is confirming to me a lot of the things that I wasn't sure about, and I was kind of on the fence on whether it was real or not real or anything like that. And wow, it confirms to me that I was that we all, our team is on the right track, and that we are finding out real good information, and we've been sharing it over the years. A lot of the stuff that you're hearing on all these emails and stuff like that, we've already shared with everyone. A lot of the information, and then now we started finding them in populated areas in the city. If there's a body of water running through the city, like a river or canal or anything like that, it's a good possibility they've been through there or they're around here more than we think. Way more than we think. And that's something that recently, over the last, I don't know, 5 years or so, that we've stumbled on, is they're in populated areas now. And then one of the things that hit home and drove home to me was when I had the Mind Speak thing, I realized they can be anywhere, or they can know what you're doing. I mean, they can read your mind. I don't think they read your mind so much as they know your intentions. They can read your intentions. So all these emails and stuff like that, they've actually helped me solidify things that was only theory to me, or so there's some things that I wasn't sure about, but only now I'm pretty sure, that's the way it is. And some things I know for without a doubt, but I didn't have, a lot of proof, or not a lot of people talking about it. But now, everybody's talking about it. It's really cool. I want to say, for the record, okay, for everybody, I'm not a researcher. I'm not a scientist. I don't even claim to be, but only I'm a hardcore, what are they? What can they do? Where do they go? And why? That's me. That's what I'm all about. Like, especially, where do they go nowadays? I'm pretty well versed on what they're capable of, but where are they now? Like, do they come in your house? Are they walking down the mall? If they can be like a long time ago, and I don't know if I should say his name. If he's listening, he'll know who he is. I was told by a good friend that he was watching one run. And those aliens in the Miami Mall? And they were talking about how the alien was there and it was coming for him, but it would blink out, and then when it came back in view, or blinked back in, it was closer. Well, Dave, I can say his first name, but I won't say his last name. Nobody knows who Dave is. Dave's not home. Dave's not here. No, but Dave said he was watching one run, and it extremely fast. Okay, you guys, these things run and they glide. They don't bounce. They're swinging their arms just like we do, and they're faster than blazes, faster than anything you've ever seen. I mean, faster than a speeding car, even. They're fast, really fast. Ungodly fast. But it was blinking out. Like here it is running along, all of a sudden, boop. And then over here it pops back in, running over here, boop. And he watched it do that until it made it to the woods and got away. Now, this is way back in the early 2000s when I was told this. And then I talked with other people that had sightings where people call me and say, hey, I saw a Bigfoot, I'll drive and go find him. And it's when I lived in the foothills, there was so many people that when they found out I saw a Bigfoot, don't tell anybody, but I saw a Bigfoot, nobody wanted to be outed. They're all like, don't tell anybody what I'm going to tell you. I'll deny it to your face if you tell anyone and say I said so. So over the years, I heard that about three times that they run and pop in and out, or they could disappear. Like they'll be standing there and just vaporize right in front of everybody. I mean, I've heard that. Well, now after hearing everybody's emails, I know that probably is something they do, right? I mean, it's probably a normal thing for them, but that also begs the question, are they in the mall? Are they in your neighborhood? Where are they? Where are they? Where can they go anywhere? Have they been in the White House? Have they, just a million zillion questions, like where could they be if they can do that? And then with emails, you find out that they're, in the nuclear facilities. And it's one of their favorite places to go. And all the nuclear scientists and everybody know about them. And it was a little shocking to me because I didn't know that they're nuclear, like they're radioactive. And we should be careful because they're radioactive. How do they get radioactive? Is it because they hang out in nuclear sites? Or is it from popping in and out? Or maybe on the other side, it's that's radioactive, or in the other realm, or when they come into this realm, and I've thought about that a lot too. When we have lots of bugs on us, in our eyes, all over our skin, little things. When they must have them too. Does those pop in and out too with them? I mean, I know that's a stupid little thing, but I just think about stuff like that, right? Like if they have lice, do the lice pop in and out, or do the lice die whenever they pop out? I know that sounds dumb. I know. Sorry, not sorry, really. My wife's gonna hate it. I made coffee and I'm drinking coffee. You know that, don't you? Okay, let me see. But not the ones I mentioned. Bigfoot jumping dimensions. Yeah. So the Bigfoot's jumping the dimensions. And that's basically, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I pretty much covered everything. I encourage everyone, keep an open mind. Look for your own self. Research. Read. Listen to podcasts. Take what you will or leave it. I mean, that's like the most important thing. Because don't just write people off as crazy right off the gate. I'll tell you one thing. I was a pretty closed-minded person before I saw the first Bigfoot. And when I saw that, it changed my life. I mean, seriously. I was different after that. But it also busted down what I thought was real and not real. All of a sudden, there was possibilities that everything I was taught and everything I thought was wrong. So as I started, looking into these things, and I started I would ask people if they saw Bigfoot, and when I got known as like the Bigfoot person in the area, and people would send people to me or get a hold of me and tell me such and such wanted to talk to me or whatever. I started hearing about pterodactyls. That was like one of the first things I heard about was pterodactyls, and I had a hard time with that. Okay, right away. And then Dogman soon followed, not long. And I was getting Bigfoot, pterodactyl, and Dogman sightings. And every time I realized that it was real, down goes another wall that I had, right? Another belief system. Boom. So nowadays, I don't have one. I'm not set in stone. I have a totally open mind. I mean, I'm still critical, but I don't call people names. I don't belittle people. I don't laugh at them. I keep an open mind, because if Bigfoot's real, and if pterodactyls are real, and if Dogman is real, and ghosts are real, and on, right? I don't even know where to draw the line anymore. I don't have a line. I just learn as I go, because when you start getting into the Bible, then all that kind of starts making sense. It does. And if you apply the Bible, it actually will give you an idea of what you're dealing with, more or less, right? It might be the Bible's 100% correct. And if that's the case, then we know exactly what they are, right? But I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody how to believe or think. I say go look for yourself. Go listen to the stories. Take from it what you will or leave it. Don't bag on people. Don't attack people. Don't laugh at people. Learn. Watch, read, learn. Learn from people. Go out in the wild and see if you can't find them. I dare anyone to go out there and look for them. Don't go alone. But go. Go out there, bang on a tree, hoot and holler, do all that, be well armed, have a lot of people. Okay? And if you can't be well armed, that's fine, have a lot of people. And a camera. That, if you want to stay safe, and we found this like right away, like if you want them to come into your camp and walk around your tent, don't set up game cameras around your camp, because nothing will happen. That's one of the first things we learned with the game cameras. They see the infrared and the little beams that the game cameras send out that they have to break in order to set the camera off. They see that like we see a laser light show, right? So you're not fooling anybody with a game camera. But if you want to be safe in your camp, put 3 or 4 game cameras aiming out from your camp, and they're going to come in. You could even set up cameras, like night vision cameras. About the only thing so far that I found that works on being able to capture an image with them, and they haven't figured out or they don't know that you're using it, is a thermal camera. We've had really good luck with the thermal cameras. Really good luck. And we would have had excellent video in Reedley, from downtown Reedley, California, right in the middle of the city. A big foot, a really big one. And we had him on camera with a thermal camera, but you don't think to hit record, okay? everybody can say whatever they want about, oh, if I would have got it in focus, or I would have took more video, or yeah. Right. It ain't that easy, folks, man. When those things step out or they're around you, the last thing on your mind sometimes is that, what you're saying. You'll think of it later and you'll kick yourself because you didn't, and you'll think, okay, next time. And when next time happens, you still forget. Like, when you know that this thing could run 100 yards in a split second, grab you up and run off with you, it's so big and so powerful and so intimidating and has all these abilities that we don't have. All that camera stuff talk goes out the window completely. As far as them being able to get in focus, maybe they're giving off a vibration the camera can't focus on, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, if they're able to pop in and out of dimensions, maybe they can't be focused on. Maybe they're vibrating at a certain rate that the camera can't get a crisp image. Like me or you, we're at we're more coarse vibration, right? Everything does vibrate, though, believe me. Like, just a little bit about science, like this cup. When my hand hits this cup, it's solid, okay? That cup is solid, but really it's not solid. It's made up of atoms and molecules, and there's space between them, okay? There's space between all these, between this. So it's really not solid, but it's solid to me in how I'm vibrating. Okay? But really, if I could go at a different vibration, maybe faster even, I could walk through the cup, or I could walk through the wall, or I could walk through the van. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying about take from it what you will or leave it. Be open-minded. You could learn a lot, and maybe might even be able to figure out why things are, why things aren't. But I mean, we'll never know until we're in the other realm, but which we can't see, okay? And it's because it's all at a different vibration level or whatever. You know, I don't know exactly yet. The FLIR, that's what I'm talking about. That's a FLIR is a thermal camera. I might invite a Sasquatch to dinner. No, I will not invite a Sasquatch to dinner. Absolutely not. I think they're evil. I mean, you can think whatever you want, but I don't think they're good. Take what you will or leave it, but only I say they're not good. I think they're something else that actually has been on the earth for thousands of years. In fact, aliens. Let's talk aliens for a second. I've interviewed hundreds of people that have been abducted, saw a UFO, all kinds of stuff. I mean, hands down, aliens are real, okay? But I've talked to people that were in the ship and they seen bodies of grays stacked up, like, you know, stacked up in the corner. They're just meat sacks. For what, though? They're like an avatar, I think, something like that, okay? And I've heard that several times on the people I interviewed and talked to. And I mean, all across California, I've talked to people about this. And they're evil too. And they probably are from the same ilk as a Bigfoot, the same ilk as a dogman. They're probably from the same thing. And they're just taking different shapes and forms that we see, right? But they're basically the same. coming from the same place, right? That's what I think. And then nobody, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You just have to know I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm not a scientist, not a researcher, but have followed up on every last single thing I can, listened to everything I can on the internet, read everything. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about as far as what I know, okay? But I don't know, I have no idea, just like everyone else. But I have a lot of background behind me to pull and experience to pull from to come to the conclusions I come to right now. Not everybody agrees with me. That's fine. I don't agree with everybody either. But that's not meaning I'm going to attack people because they like aliens. They think they're good. They like Bigfoot. I mean, it's okay, whatever. We'll, keep doing what you're doing. We'll all arrive at the truth sooner or later or someday, right? So I'm good with how people are and I'm good. Only I don't like to be attacked, but I know where it's coming from. I get it. Mostly it's fear. People are afraid of things, and they're afraid if it has to be real, or it's a fear thing mostly. And that's what I think, anyways. And most people that are afraid, they say and do weird stuff. Okay, let me see here. Donald Marshall. What did you say about him? Oh, Donald Marshall. Oh, my finger's in the way, huh? Man, you don't want Donald Marshall for president. Believe me, you don't want Donald Marshall for president. Maybe an advisor to the president, but from Donald Marshall's own words, they all know him anyways, and he's the hero of the world. He's going to save the world, right? He's Jesus. He's going to sword fight demons and clones and Vril, and he's going to kick their ass, and he's going to send them back where they came from. But I want you to know, like, I've researched a lot of stuff, and something you have to keep in the back of your mind about all this with Donald Marshall and others and other things. If they're able to clone people, okay, and Bigfoot's able to disappear and reappear, and aliens can go in and out of our existence as well and go speeds that would kill you and make a right turn, okay, or stop on a dime, or do all the things that they're capable of doing. And you heard of brainwashing, right? It works, okay? Brainwashing works. Look at the world right now. There's people that will vote for Donald Trump because they don't like they'll vote for Biden because they don't like Donald Trump. I don't get it. That guy is tearing our country up. I don't even think it's him. I don't even think if it was Biden even, I don't even think he's in control of it. I think something else more nefarious is in control. And we're going to find that out here pretty soon. So just keep an open mind. Know that people can be brainwashed, even Donald Marshall. And if you're brainwashed, you'll believe everything you're saying. And why wouldn't you? They probably tortured the shit out of him, right? I mean, according to him, they killed him over and over, his clone. So much so that if they kill his clone too many more times, he will just die in his real body. Like, he can't be killed too many more times. Otherwise, his body, his real body, will die. One of the ways of brainwashing people is to traumatize you out of your mind. Okay? Maybe he was traumatized out of his mind from a little kid. He used to sit there and watch as people killed clones and ate children and did all these terrible things that he talks about. That's traumatizing. be called out of your sleep into a body, and then be sliced and diced, and you wake up in your body again. I mean, I'm not saying things didn't happen to Donald Marshall. I'm saying that maybe some of the things that he takes for reality isn't reality. But I believe a lot of what he's saying is true, but some of it might not be. And how do you figure out where reality and not reality ends and begins? Like, how? You don't know. But you keep an open mind and you try to make sense of it all. And that's where I'm at, you know. And I don't hate Donald Marshall. I don't think he's lying to me. I mean, I don't know what to think about some of it, just like I don't know what to think about alien stuff and what some of the Bigfoot stuff and some of the other stuff I hear about that's coming on the land. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, God incarnated. If you listen to him, that's what he says, basically. He's Jesus, you know. But I'm not making fun of him either, really. He believes that. He believes that. That's why he was out telling that story. But he could have been brainwashed to do that. To come out and do that. Why didn't they kill him already? I mean, he's out there telling the truth. He's telling stories on everyone, right? Putin and the Queen, and I mean everybody. Anybody that's anybody, he's talked about him. You know, most anybody that comes out with truth gets killed right away. Why didn't they off that dude and shut him up? There's a reason, right? That's actually what got me to thinking maybe he's intended to do that, and some of the stuff he's saying isn't really true, but he was programmed to say it and believe it. And the only way that you can get somebody to believe something normally is you have to believe it. You can't just go out and sell somebody on something. I mean, a lot of people can't, unless you're enthusiastic and you believe it. That's how you sell it. He was that. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I check up on him every so often, but I don't see any posts or anything. I don't know what's up with Donald Marshall. I pray for him, though. I've been praying for him. And everyone else that is down in those dumbs, being abused, tortured, killed, eaten, whatever, I pray for all of them. I believe that we're going to get the truth of this. I believe the cracking open of this whole thing is Jeffrey Epstein's list. I mean, everybody's already, they don't know what to do with this. Wait till all that stuff comes out and we find out what's true and not true. Right? Whoops, let's see. From what I understand, Jeffrey Epstein might be alive. You heard that little, you know. Floods taken out of, I can't. Oh, well, I can't read the chat. It's messing with me so bad. Well, you guys, I wish I would have brought my tablet out here. That way I could have like a coherent conversation with you guys. I'll do that on the next one. Maybe I'll come back on Friday night or Saturday night. I don't want to do one where nobody's around, you know. Maybe I'll come in on Friday morning, you know, around 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, Friday in the morning. And we'll talk some more. And I have a lot of things I haven't been doing any videos for a while. I have a lot of stuff, you know, that I want to talk about and see what you guys think about it and get your input. And I really do appreciate everybody that says things and talks about things. The only thing I don't like is when people just attack blatantly, just go for your jugular, you know. But I understand that too. I do. I understand their whole world is being turned upside down, and You know, what happens when you cage an animal or corner one? They come out fighting, bare their teeth, claws out, you know. So I get it. I just say, you know, keep researching, find the truth. You know, that's one of the things the Bible tells us to do is to search out the truth, search it out. So I say, search it out. Maybe the truth of the Bible, the truth of everything. Exactly, Rosemary. And hi, Rosemary. That is exactly correct. And that's what our media is doing today, right now, and has been. I mean, think about it. Telegram, I mean, television, a vision. Okay. The programming, they've been programming, radio programming, TV programming. I mean, why do they use those words, programming? Right? That's what they've been doing. Our schools, programming, teaching us what to believe. And we should have been, you know, we've put way too much power over there, and that needs to be reined in, believe it or not. But all that's coming out. All the truth is going to come out. Probably all the things I'm talking about right now, we're going to know the truth of in not too long. But anyways, y'all be good. Keep researching, keep listening to things, keep learning. I'm going to pray for everybody right now because I believe in prayer. And so right now I pray blessings on everyone. It's pretty much the same prayer as always. And I always pray it, healing on everyone. Backs healed, hearts healed, brains healed, blood healed. Healing, 100% healing, 100% blessing in every area of your life. Finances, relationships, job, everything. Be blessed abundantly in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, you guys. We shall see you in a couple days. Have a good evening.